The new channel. The new channel. Hashtag TNC Now.
The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following shows are those of the host, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to the new channel, Our Passion Transforms, a community that sees all things new. I am Zaira Tumang and I'm streaming live from Taguig City. Good morning.
I am Ned Della Croce and I'm streaming live from Bulacan, Bulacan. Good afternoon. This is Crypto Chic Episode 7, Why Stablecoins in Unstable Markets Season 1, Episode 7 on TNC.
Hi and welcome back. Today we're going to switch it up a little bit for this episode and discuss stablecoins. To those new to cryptocurrency, stablecoins are currencies that are pegged as 2-to-1 ratio with the US dollar. They are not considered a legal tender yet, but supposedly they have been used for many things in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space, especially dealing in Web3 type applications. With global economics, especially our own here in the Philippines, feeling the effects of the rising gas prices, food prices, and other things, users may want alternative options to get into the US dollar versus going down to their bank and switching out their local Philippine pesos. This way, we protect our money from inflation by switching out a weaker currency with a stronger currency. However, there are more stable coins that you know. And to understand them a little bit for today, we have our guest, Ned, to explain a bit more on their background and usage.
Hi,
Ned.
Zaira. Thanks for having me again. So I prepared a few slides to explain a bit more on stablecoins, and today we're going over the following. First is understanding what are stablecoins and how stablecoins or the history of stablecoins, and then its markets use and as well to how to obtain stable coins. So let us begin. Now, whenever someone hears the word crypto, the prevailing idea is it's very volatile, meaning that the prices on a certain coin or token swings up and down, and the current price wherein the coin or token was purchased may not be the same when it's time to sell it. So that's a good thing if someone would like to take advantage in terms of buying low and selling high. However, that is if the price of the token goes up, but what if it goes down? And another downer with this is, for example, you would like to hodl a certain token or coin. You don't know whether tomorrow it will be the same price or it's going to be a different price as well. And like what happened during November 2021 when Bitcoin was at $69,000. Right now, it's hovering around $22,000 to $23,000. We really don't know what's going to happen. So this is where stable coins come into picture. Well, stable coins technically means coins that are stable. It's given in the name already. And they are actually utility tokens that are created on a blockchain, which is non volatile, and in essence, their prices should remain pegged at a currency. And mostly it's for US dollars. But I know some of the exchanges are already working on exploring with Euro and Yuan as well. Now, we might be thinking, how come stablecoin comes into action? So we already prepared some slide for this, and the first stablecoin was actually this one. It's BitUSD, and it was released in 2014. And if you know the following personalities, they're the one who thought of this. So we're going over to the next slide. Probably these personalities you might know as well. So these two persons, probably you might recognize them. The one is on the upper portion is Dan Larimore of EOS. That's a popular blockchain, and at the same time, the OG of them all, Charles Hoskins of IOTK of Cardano. So they're the ones who created BitUSD. And then the next one, it's called Nubits, and it was released in September of 2014, and it was governed by the controversial seigniorage system. Maybe in the future, we can explain what the seigniorage system, so that we can further realize and learn more about how stable coins are being pegged to the US dollars. Because, of course, in like 2 or 3 months ago, we already heard the news about Terra and Terra Luna or USD, and it's using this kind of system as well. But back then, actually, what happened to Luna was not a new news already, because Nubit actually had two crashes, one in 2016 and one in 2018. And actually, right now, instead of being pegged to $1, it's actually hovering around 6 cents. And it wasn't until the arrival of Tether on the market in 2015, and it was released by Bitfinex. And the concept was of collateralized off-chain stablecoins backed by real assets. It was, of course, issued by Bitfinex Exchange, and the USD cryptocurrency, which was rebranded from the 2014 asset, Realcoin, is very controversial, and of course, until now, it's dealing with the U.S. authorities because of the $31 million hack in 2017 and the price manipulation claims that associated trading at Bitfinex Exchange made up almost of 50% of Bitcoin's insane price increase in late 2017.
Seems that even up and coming stable coins have a pattern of hacks that bring the market down with them. This is very similar to, like you said, Terra Luna that crashed, that happened this year, which I think was the start of the bearish market. However, what I'm also realizing is that these crashes seem to happen before a new market. For example, hacks take the cryptocurrency market slower before an upcycle. So it provides better deals for those who want to hodl for a long time. They also occur right before an overall market starts to become bearish. It's almost sounds like they are signals in a way to announce that it is time to get out of the market and get into stable coins. So when I look back into the charts in 2016, the market at that time were affected by Bitfinex hack. However, officials were able to get the hacked Bitcoin. What it did to the price was drop the price of Bitcoin from around 800 US dollars down to like more or less 500 US dollars, which is around 38% market drop from the hack alone. However, the key is in all that has happened after the hack. that caused the Bitcoin to rise in 2017, as you have mentioned. That night, before 2018 crypto winter, CoinCheck was hacked in January of 2018, followed by other hacks from other platforms like Bank and Zaif. So, to see numerous patterns. However, users would have been wise enough to exit the market via stablecoins. Anyway, what about the market use of stablecoins other than exchanges?
No, I'm going to present to you the Consensus State of Stablecoins 2019 report. And these are some of the common cases where stablecoins can provide much needed stability. And the first one, of course, is the daily commercial payments between companies in different countries. It's much easier to use stablecoins. Later, I'm going to tell you what happened to me when I was using stablecoins here in the Philippines. And then, of course, the next
Mm-hmm.
one is the remittance to protect against price fluctuations while payments are being processed. And then, of course, the next one will be recurring payments such as salaries, wages, and rent. And the next, of course, will be long term loans. And the next one is the long-term store of value and hedging, which is actually very beneficial if you know how to manage your wealth properly, or if you want to start building your wealth. And the last one, of course, is trading and wealth management, which includes the likes of arbitrage, which is kind of similar to the seigniorage system. So these are the things that consensus state of stablecoins reported way back in 2019. Now, stable privacy and security of crypto, meaning the banks or government cannot just track it or suspend its transaction. Unlike, for example, if you're dealing with a bank or a financial institution, but at the same time, it's supposed to be it should be constant and can be treated as fiat money. So somehow, it also acts the bridge from fiat to crypto because when you buy stable coins using your fiat and if you're trading, you will look for a good entry of your trades and you would need to park your money into stable coins first and then you look for the opportunity for entry. Personally, the number one usage of stablecoin would be easy access to buy your favorite cryptocurrencies. And if in the future you would want to sell or protect it from the bear market, so you convert your coins or tokens into stablecoins. But what I really like with stablecoins is it offers accessibility, privacy, and security of crypto, meaning the banks or government cannot just track it or suspend it. So did you remember, like, I think it was a few days or last week, there was a
Mm-hmm.
commotion in China. Are you familiar with this
Oh
picture?
yeah,
Yeah. So
yes.
I forgot what
They cannot
problem.
withdraw their money.
Yeah, precisely. The customers of the bank were unable to withdraw their money from their bank. And then the customers then barricaded the bank, but the state forces were called to disperse the crowd. Actually, this is nothing new because way back in
Mm-hmm.
the 1800s in the US, it happened as well, wherein the bank can no longer issue money or notes for the people. And now imagine yourself, if you are one of the customers of that bank and you cannot withdraw your money, how confident are you given that incident that you can still access your hard earned money?
You know
It's
what? You,
difficult.
you had a very good point there. That's also the reason why I also taught in my previous classes before we started Crypto Chic that they should have, even if they don't believe in cryptocurrency, at least they have a little bit of something in their digital wallet because you'll never know. I mean, when the war broke out, some of the donations that was given to some of the victims was through cryptocurrency, and it allowed them to escape. It allowed them to, buy some of their food or feed their children. So let's just say it's like a safekeeping of some sort, even if you don't believe in it. Kahit konti lang.
Yeah, actually, you're right. You mentioned war. I remember when I was in Canada, my boss there was telling me about the World War II, and the people were unable to use their money, so they were given coupons. But actually, I have a recent example for such kind of thing that you mentioned. Have you ever
Mhm.
brought a million peso with you while you are in the mall strolling or doing groceries?
First, I don't have millions, so for sure I won't be bringing that to the mall. Second,
Yeah.
if I do have, and it's probably um, in just my ATM or my credit card. It's divided into to those assets.
Yeah. But ang hirap nun is, for example, if you want to deposit on the bank, kailangan mong withdraw at 50,000 na yung available na pwede mong
That's right.
withdraw. So, di ba? Parang, pero I actually did that once. Hindi ko pera.
Wow.
Basta rin, uy,
Wow.
million, million of dala ko. Pero that's not my money. But it was actually, I need to deposit that huge amount from one bank to another from Bulacan, and then I need to deposit it in Manila. I didn't go strolling because, the mere transfer when the banker handed me the money, it's like this thing. And I was like, oh no, I don't know what to do with this one. So I need to really
Hmm.
uh, it really caused me anxiety from the moment I stepped out of the bank until I was able to deposit it to the next bank. But with my experience as well, with stable coins, I was able to go places without me being worried of being losing the money or
Yeah.
being hold up.
Right.
Actually, in my phone, I have stable coins here. I will not tell you how much it has,
I've
but
seen it in your posts. You earn from futures, so I'm sure you do have money in your digital wallet. Yes.
yeah. So, and I'm not afraid to bring such a huge amount of money uh, from one place to another because, of course, it's digital. And um, for the hold uppers, for them to access my money, they need to pass through the securities and they need to transfer it to their wallet and all those hassles they need to do just
Hmm.
to get my money. So that's where the security of cryptocurrencies come into play. Aside from that,
Right.
stable coins could also be a mode of remittance. I used to live
Mm.
in Canada, and I remember when I was in Vancouver, I need to go to this place. I don't know if you've been to this place. It's actually one of the remittance center in Vancouver. I live in South Vancouver, and for me to go to this remittance center, which is it's actually near Kings Edward Avenue, it's like a 30-minute
Mm.
walk or a 15-minute bus ride. And in Canada,
Mm.
when you say 15-minute bus ride, you need to wait for a
Ang
certain
tagal niyan.
yeah, matagal muna, 'di ba? Yeah.
Because
So,
you have
like
to wait for the bus.
for the
It
bus,
has a specific
precisely.
timing.
Yeah.
And if you
Pag
miss
na-late ka
it,
dun
you
sa
miss
bus,
it.
yeah, that's it. And then, 'di ba? So it's very
Yes.
difficult to get into the remittance center. Actually, I think this is the one near our place, but there's actually other remittance centers. I think in Surrey and in downtown, but it's too far for me. So, then what do I need to do? I need to file in line, and for example, I need to send amount more than 3,000 Canadian dollars. They're asking me a proof of income, or else I will be
Hmm.
tagged by AMLA or
Oh,
Anti-Money
wow.
Laundering Act. Yeah, that's actually very scary
What if
because
you're just a good hustler, di ba?
yeah,
Parang you just earn a lot of
precisely.
money and inipon mo lang siya in your house and this is the only time that you want to send it.
True,
Right.
true. Yeah, and when you live abroad, you really need to find ways how to earn more money because my salary back then was not as high, and it was really difficult to send money back to the Philippines. So I really need to
Mm-mm.
wait for some time to verify the transfer as well. So for example, I
Mm-mm.
sent it today. I need to wait like 3 days before it will be cleared,
Tsaka sayang
and
naman, like, yung fees, di ba, the transfer fees, if you
yeah.
frequent that without na ipunin mo pa, parang it just eats up a lot of the cash.
That's true. That's true. And one transaction I remember from that Metrobank center. For example, I'm using BPI and their Metrobank, so I need to pay like $10 every 5,000
Mm.
Canadian dollars. Of course, I can send 5,000 Canadian dollars, but you need to pay $10 every transaction. If you're using Metrobank, then it's like
Mm-hmm.
$8 only. And not only that, there's quite a hustle with it because it takes time and effort to send money. And for me, I was working multiple jobs and I need to lessen my hours for me to send money
Mm.
back home. But with stable coins, that would not be a problem because you
Mm.
can send money instantly and then the receiver could
Yeah,
get it in less than 10 minutes. So, and the best part is there's no cap with it. So I
exactly.
can send as much as I want.
Oo
They
nga.
will not tag me. Di ba?
Send ko sa'yo mamaya yung code ko, ah.
Ano rin?
You can send as much as you want.
Parang baliktad yata ako yata yung kailangan makaano. Makakuha ng
How
ako
I
yata
wish.
dapat bigay ng code sa'yo. Yeah. And of course this opens a lot, the stable coins opens a lot, especially this could be a gateway wherein people who are interested in cryptocurrencies can get their feet wet. I know a lot of people, they're asking me how can I start with crypto, how will I get in, and usually I always tell them buy cryptocurrencies. For example, I know
Mm.
I have a friend of mine from Gensan, and he's really calling me from time to time and said, "Ned, what should I do? Where should I invest?" I always tell him, put it first on stable coins because we still need to wait for
Mm.
the reaction of the market. And it's actually that's
Mm.
very good because it could potentially lead the masses into crypto adoption. And one of the best thing with crypto is the DeFi or decentralized finance because this is a game changer, especially for me. I was able to save a lot
Mhm.
because of DeFi. So for example, if you're depositing your money in the bank, you get 5% per annum, and that's really really low.
Mm.
But with DeFi, if you put your stable coins, it has a potential to earn as much as 10% to 15% APY or APR, depending on the platform or liquidity pool in which you put your money into.
So we can both agree that just like how most of us we use the debit or credit card as digital payments, diba? Especially nowadays, you tend to forget na nga your wallet. Eh. You just bring your cards, diba? You don't even have your cash anymore unless you want to pay GCash or pay Maya sa parking. Most of the time, you only have cash for parking. We're
Yeah.
not exposing ourselves too much to harm or risk with physical cash. So, like stable coins, provided there is a means for the receiver to cash out the stable coins in their country of residence or origin, does play a very helpful role in terms of remittance and sending large amounts of money without being flagged. What I do like about stable coins, especially in today's world, unlike before, we have several blockchain type of stable coins, right? The most notable one is ERC20 or USDT or Tether, which is Ethereum based. However, we all know what Ethereum prices starts when it moves up. The price of gas fees to send also moves up. So to send an ERC20 USD payment gets expensive. But now there are so many stable coins on other blockchain that have faster and less expensive gas to send and receive. So one example is TRC20 USD. This is a stable coin that is on Tron network and is cheaper, and their fees and transactions are great. Other stable coins coming into the focus is also like the Coinbase USDC. However, this is still on Ethereum blockchain, and the gas fee seems to be very less than Tether and just as fast as Reliant as well. Yeah, so I can agree with you that stablecoins could also be a gateway for adoption, especially when people want to seek other alternatives to switch their money to a stablecoin, which supposedly is pegged to the dollar and has the ability to protect someone's holdings or portfolio from rising inflation in regards to their own local fiat currency. So, how would users obtain stablecoins then?
Yeah, that's actually a good question because a lot of people are asking, how can I get it? So there's actually several ways and to get it, but the most common would be with the following exchanges. Like for example, um, first one would be, of course, the biggest one, which is Binance. And actually a lot of Filipinos are already aware of Binance because, like what you said,
Mhm.
mentioned, like what you mentioned earlier, futures. There's a lot of Filipinos who
Mm.
are actually into Binance futures. Actually, there's a lot. Aside from that, there's other platforms that they can get the stable coins. I think here in the Philippines, Binance is the most popular, and then I know they're introducing Bybit as well. And but when I was in North America, especially in Canada, what I usually go to will be the following exchanges. So the first
Mhm.
one would be, of course, crypto.com, and that's where I usually use my credit card to buy stable coins or cryptocurrencies way back then, because it's easier, and they also provide like a Visa card that you can use. And then,
Mhm.
of course, the other one would be the most popular one in US, which is Coinbase. And I also had registered in Coinbase, but there was a specific one for Canada, and it's called Newton. It's the same thing. They're just exchanges wherein you can use your credit card or you can deposit money so you can convert it to stable coins. Now, there's also another way to do this, and that's actually P2P or peer to peer. You can do this if you know the person whom you're dealing. And there's a platform in
Mhm.
Binance wherein you can use P2P as well. Now, both of
Mhm.
us, of course, were from TAP, and there's also a TAP door to door wherein you just have to
Mhm.
place your order, and then someone will assist you to have your stable coins delivered into your wallet. Or you can do P2P via Binance, or because they also have the platform like that. And there's actually a lot of platforms that you could use into. Especially now, we have homegrown platforms. It's like, for
Mhm.
example, Maya was the first one to introduce cryptocurrency on mobile wallet. And then I
Mhm.
heard Gcash this week already released their cryptocurrency platform via coins.ph, which is actually one of the earliest exchanges in the Philippines. And of course, I think this is the first one, the first exchange in the Philippines, which is PDAX. So there's a lot of ways people can get stable coins, and there's a lot of ways as well people can interact and get
Right.
into cryptocurrency while it's still in its infancy. Because once everyone adopted it, huli na lahat. So, we don't know kung saan pupulutin lahat yon. Mas mainam na
Right.
mas nauna na tayo and we're able to get into cryptocurrency using stable coins.
Right. So there are a lot of changes that are happening on a daily basis, and crypto is heading in a way na pinag-uusapan na like previous years, and there's a lot of people who's joining the bandwagon and are actually earning, especially nowadays. It's quite hard to get a job or get another gig, and with trading it at your own home and just doing P2P, you get your money right away directly to you, whatever you wish, either your digital wallet, or you get it straight to your credit card or your debit card, and you can actually use the money right away. So, but before we go to even more uses of the stable coins in particular, why don't we head first on a break and see what our partners would say? TNC is a live stream platform of online shows for people on the go. Please watch all of our shows on screen. Imagine having your own show, your own playlist, and your own content. But we make it easier for you. TNC aims to transform the lives of our viewers through engaging, authentic, and original content. Our vision is to become a global 24/7 live stream channel that showcases talent, global influencers, cultural intelligence, and ingenuity. Watch Crypto Chic bi-monthly every Saturday at 1:30 p.m. You can watch live or on replay via Facebook or YouTube. Follow us on IG. Listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Just search hashtag TNC Now. For sponsorships, please email now at thenewchannel.com or send us a DM. Enjoy these life-changing shows because we made them for you. Ayan. So, Ned, we actually we were able to talk about how we use stable coins and where do we get them, how do we get them. But why don't we discuss more what are the most used, ano yung mga pinakasikat na nandyan na ngayon in the market as a stable coin? Ako kasi
Yeah,
personally, what I like is USDT. Maybe we can start from there.
yeah, actually, that's correct. There's actually a lot of stable coins out in the market. I think there's 60 stable coins that's in the market, but like half of it are
Wow.
actually deployed in the market. So hindi pa sila lahat fully functional. Hindi pa sila lahat nasa market. But yung
Mhm.
mga ipapresent ko ngayon actually are my favorites, and at the same time I was able to use them, and most of them are the popular ones. So yeah, like what you said, you like USDT, so we go first with USDT. So what is USDT? It's actually a cryptocurrency stable coin which is pegged with the US dollars, and it's backed by 100% Tether reserves according to its website. It is owned by iFinex, the Hong Kong registered company, which also owns the crypto exchange Bitfinex, which I mentioned earlier. And before it was
Mhm.
called Tether or USDT, it was called Realcoin in July 2014. And it was
Mhm.
rebranded as Tether in November 2014. Alam mo, itong USDT ang pinaka-popular sa lahat because a lot of people
Mhm.
knows like the first stable coins that was really being used in the market. Kaso, the
Mhm.
problem with this one, even at the very beginning, nagkakaroon sila ng problema for I don't know what reasons. Because yung their name Real Coin, actually, there was I think a file suit against it. That's why, or
Mhm.
like a copyright that they cannot use it. That's why they changed it to Tether. And it's
Mhm.
actually started trading way back in February 2015. So it's been there for quite a long time already. And originally, it's based on the Bitcoin blockchain because, as we know,
Mhm.
from 2009 until like 2016, 2017, mostly nasa Bitcoin network yan eh. And then the next one, of course, was Ethereum, which was launched way back, I think, roughly around 2014, 2015, 2016. So within those years. And now, uh,
Mhm.
Tether supports Bitcoin's Omni and Liquid protocols, as well as like what I mentioned, Ethereum. Now it also runs on Tron blockchain, EOS,
Mhm.
Algorand, Solana, OMG Network, and Bitcoin Cash. So you can earlier you mentioned na ang problema sa ERC20 or sa Ethereum is yung gas fee kasi napakamahal eh. And whenever Ethereum
Mhm.
prices goes up, the gas fee goes up as well. So now, nagkaroon ng iba't ibang option. Actually, meron pang additional, which is the Binance Smart Chain. And this is what I usually use. When I use USDT to
Mhm.
trade in Binance, I always use, it's either Tron or BSC. But I prefer BSC because I'm using Binance, so might as well stay with that. And
Mhm.
as of May 2022, Tether was the third largest cryptocurrency next from Bitcoin to Ether. And then, pang third niya is si Tether na, which has the largest market capitalization of like $83 billion.
Wow.
So, ganun siyang kalaki. And actually, napakadaming chismis about USDT. And this is the reason, uh,
Mm.
from the very beginning, meron ng hounds or allegations about instability. Kasi, like you mentioned earlier as well, yung nangyari sa Terra, and people are afraid as well that it might
Mm.
happen to USDT. Kasi because, dati, noong 2017, hinihingan sila ng reports ng US authorities about kung talaga bang meron silang
Mm.
reserves ng dollars na nakapeg doon sa kanilang one Tether or one USDT. So aside from that, yun nga, nasabi natin kanina in 2017, nagkaroon ng hack sa Bitfinex at yun nga, $31 million ang nawala. So they need to follow as well. Ngayon, hinihingan nga sila ng report ng US authorities about kung talaga ba ang USDT ay pegged is $1 into one tether, and they're unable to provide a very clear answer. And siguro they relent na lang in the
Mhm.
very end, and they said that okay, our reserves are actually like this. Some of them are backed by dollars, some of them are backed by securities, some of them are backed by other assets, some of them are backed by like loans to other people, especially those who are participating in the DeFi. So yun yung mga allegations na nagsusurround sa Tether.
Mm.
Kaya ang mga tao natatakot, teka, stable ba talaga yan or hindi, and things like that. But,
Mm.
you know, the good thing about it, just this year lang, Tether was able to raise $45 million, and they were able to reduce their exposure to paper assets into a real dollar from, I think that's from 3 billion. Ngayon, ang target nila is up to 30 million na lang yung exposed doon sa mga paper assets, so mga bonds, sa mga other collaterals na pinahiram nila. So that makes
Mm.
USDT a little bit more stable now. Kasi one of the greatest fear,
Mm.
especially in crypto, is what if Tether or USDT depegs o hindi na siya nag 1 is to
Mm.
1 with the US dollar. And of course, a lot of people will be like, ano ba mangyayari sa crypto? Siguro babagsak lahat ng coins and everything. Like what you mentioned earlier, na yung pag nagkakaroon ng depegging ng isang stable coin from the US dollars, ang nangyayari ay nagkakaroon ng mga crashes and everything. So, yun yung nagiging problema. Kaya ang ginawa ngayon ng Tether mismo is for them to reduce their exposure to those uncertain markets para talaga ma-maintain yung peg na 1
Mm.
is to 1. Actually, nagkaroon siya ng depegging before, but right now they're able to maintain for quite a long time na 1 is to 1. So that's a good sign. So that's
Yes, it
actually
is.
the
It is.
first
Is.
one. Yeah. And then
Right.
the next one, of course, is what we see now on the slides. It's USDC. And actually,
Mm.
after USDC naman ang sumunod na pinakamalaking market cap ng stable coins. And ano ba tong USDC? USDC is called USD coin. That's why it's called USDC.
Mm.
It's actually a digital currency that is fully backed by US dollars or dollar denominated assets like US Treasury securities. And ang maganda dito sa USDC, yung reserve assets nila are held in segregated accounts. Kasi ang hirap pagka sama-sama lang sa isang account lahat ng asset, nagkakagulo yan eh. Even if you're running a
Mm.
business, kung hindi malinaw ang books mo, talagang magkakaletse-letse yung company. So, yun yung
Right.
ginawa ng USD. Talagang they compartmentalize each of their assets to make sure that it's very clear nasaan yung reserves nila. So just in case yung mga
Mm.
tao gusto nilang
Mm.
mag encash, they have something to give to the people. And not only that, one of the good thing about USDC is the firm Grant Thornton LLP, which is actually an auditing firm in the US. They are the ones na nag-oversee dun sa mga segregated accounts ng USDC, and they provide monthly attestation na talagang nandoon yung mga reserve assets, or else pagka nga nagtipid ang USDC and it's the second largest stable coin, again, fear in the market. We don't know how unstable the market is.
Mm-mm.
Kaya nga stable coins, they need to provide stability, especially in this unstable market like what we're experiencing right now. Now, USDC, of course, it's running on several blockchain. Mostly, when I was in Canada, ito yung pinopromote actually ng Coinbase. Okay? And USDC is mostly used in using the Coinbase exchange. And it's also compatible with several blockchains, like, for example, Ethereum, Algorand, Solana, Stellar or XLM, Tron, Polygon, and recently I was able to use it with Matic, or Polygon.
Mm.
I was testing some DeFi platforms in Polygon, and instead of USDT, they're asking for USDC. So I still need to convert some of my USDT to USDC and then transfer it to the Matic network. But it's actually good because it's also a good thing if we have different stable coins in the market, because it will provide us with different options, especially if we want to use it on a certain blockchain na mas compatible yon. And I think that's a good thing for us to have different stable coins. Okay? And then, of
I think,
course,
to also kind of like relate it for the market. Parang simple lang yan when you go to Paris, 'di ba? You exchange your money to their currency, 'di ba? Or you go to the States, you change your Philippine pesos to US dollar. So, and vice versa. So, parang when you use their blockchain, when you use the kind of network that they have on, for example, if it's Stellar or Tron, you might want to pass it on. If you have USDT, you're comfortable with USDT, and so it's the stable coin that you've been using, and the receiver would rather receive it ng Tron na, no, or Stellar or whichever. You exchange mo lang din, and that's the beauty of this, because nobody's gonna force you which one to use. There's just enough liquidity in the market for you to transfer from one stable coin to another, and the fees are not so much. Okay, it depends on the exchange that you're using, or if you're already transacting with the sabi mo nga kanina, P2P, diba? So aside from USDT, Tether, and USD Coin, we also have BUSD. So what is the difference? What is BUSD naman? Ano naman? Where is it backed by?
okay, yeah, actually, this is one of my favorite BUSD, because most of my transactions, I usually go to Binance Smart Chain dahil nga sobrang tipid sa gas fee. Unlike if I use Ethereum blockchain, napakamahal ng gas fee. And of course, dahil nga mura yung gas fee sa BSC or Binance Smart Chain platform, andun yung mga magagandang laruin ngayon. Especially, of course, ang favorite ko, Kate, na I'm using USD to purchase my Kate. So, but anyway, what's the difference between those two, and especially with Binance USD? So, Binance USD as well is it's pegged to 1 BUSD to $1. It's actually a USD-backed stablecoin issued by Binance Exchange, which is the largest exchange in the whole world, and it's actually partnered with Paxos, and they are actually regulated by the New York State Department of Financial Services. So, ito medyo secured kasi they're one of the stable coins that are actually listed and approved by the New York State Department of Financial Services. I think, like kanina yung sinasabi ko about sa issues about Tether, I think yung NYDFS or yung New York State Department of Financial Services issued like a memorandum or something to USDT for them to report. With BUSD, okay, it's much safer for me. The reason is, may backup na to ng government. or it is regulated by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Not only that, it is backed by Paxos, and at the same time, it's backed by Binance, which is the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the whole world. So why will
Mhm.
I be afraid to use BUSD if alam ko na ito ay backed by several agencies of the government and at the same time by different companies. So ako personally, I prefer to use BUSD
Right.
kasi napakadali niyang i-obtain, napakadali niyang gamitin, napakatipid sa
Mm.
gas. So for example, I'm going to transfer 1,000 BUSD to the exchange into wallet. Ang i-charge lang sa akin is 1 cent. For example, sa if ERC20, posibleng $1 or $1.21 ang pwedeng i-charge sa akin. Sa Binance USD, as long as you're using Binance or their um, software wallet, SafePal, napakamura ng fees. Sometimes wala pang ang fees eh. You can
Wala
just
pang
transfer it.
fees, yes.
Yeah, you can transfer
Yeah.
it immediately. I think I experienced that before with BUSD when I transferred from Binance to SafePal wallet.
Mm.
And
Mm.
of course, ito nga ang Binance, pag nag-collapse ang Binance, hindi natin alam kung ano mangyayari sa crypto world. Pero the mere fact it's being backed by the largest cryptocurrency, I have trust in BUSD. So
You know,
mostly ito yung sabi.
the only thing right now, the reason why we're doing this on Crypto Chic is because we want for our viewers to understand what are the pros and cons, and for them to be able to save some of their money. And yung iba kasi nag-iisip, saan ko ba siya itatago? You know, some very liquid ones, they have their own safe in their house. Some really have scattered accounts all over the country or even abroad. Some places their hard-earned money into art or buy a property or get into a business or get into stocks or bonds. But this is another way for them to stack up some of their money because even before, you know, even before all this, internet was nothing, and now the internet has its own currency.
Yeah.
It has come alive already. So why not get into this a little bit more and get to understand how it works? I know it's gonna be medyo masakit sa ulo sometimes. What are the differences? But it's gonna be easier when you try it. Okay, I'm sure there are a lot of people there who would want to help you out, or there are also a lot of FAQs that you can read, and you can actually talk to some of your friends who has been doing this, and they'll be thrilled that somebody else would want to learn it, because it only means that the adoption phase is still there and it's still going, and aside from that, you can earn together. Okay, so aside from all those, I think we have two more to discuss.
Yeah.
We have Dai. I know it's formerly known as Sai. So what is Dai?
Dai. Okay, yeah, like what you mentioned. Natawa ako kasi Sai kasi it sounded your name, Sai.
I hope it was mine, but it's not.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So actually, this is different from the Dai actually is different from the other three. Kasi mostly yung tatlo na yon, they're backed by some assets for them to maintain the peg for $1 to one of their cryptocurrency or one of their stable coins. So, like what you mentioned, it's formerly known as Sai. It is one of the stable coins which used algorithmic protocol to maintain its
Mhm.
peg to the dollar. So, technically, hindi siya fully backed by assets. It's running via smart
Mm.
contract. Okay,
Okay.
and this algorithmic protocol, it's actually one of the, how will I explain this? I cannot say unsafe, pero some of the people or some of the influencers are telling that algorithmic um, protocol is like doomed to fail. The reason is yun nga,
Mhm.
it's not being backed by real assets, but rather it's being the protocol is manipulating the prices of the stable coin to maintain its peg to $1. And this is actually what happened to Luna. or
Mm-hmm.
USD, because it's also using algorithmic protocol. Pero one good thing about DAI, it's been there for quite a long time already, and it's a decentralized stable coin running on Ethereum that attempts to maintain again the value of one USD. But unlike centralized stable coins, it's not backed by any US dollars in bank account, but it's backed by collateral on the Maker platform. Yung Maker platform is actually like a lending site in crypto. So people there are
Mm-hmm.
depositing, if people are not familiar with how crypto exchanges work, meron mga tinatawag na liquidity pool, which means people are placing their assets into the liquidity pool so that they can be used and they can be transferred, they can be loaned to other people, and that's actually what's happening with Maker. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Maker platform, and then people who pull their money into it, they're earning interest because of the fees. And then next, of course, will be the USDD.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, USDD, actually this is quite new because it was
This is yeah.
released.
This is actually new. Actually, this is the first time I heard about this.
Yeah, this is actually ano to eh, parang not copycat, parang ang inspiration nito was UST, yung sa Terra. Because when
Mm-hmm.
Justin's son, the the head of Tron Foundation, saw how Terra was able to accomplish their great feat, especially with stable coins. They like so-called copy it. Pero ito ay nirelease lang nitong May 5 of 2022, and it's a stable
Mm-hmm.
coin on Tron, BNB chain or BSC chain, and Ethereum blockchain, and it's pegged to US dollar 1:1. But the
Mm-hmm.
problem with this one, for quite a long time, I think it's 4 months already since it was released. Yung USDT is
Mm-hmm.
defect already. It's actually like 96 cents or 98 cents. And ang ginagawa kasi ni Justin Sun is hindi niya basta-basta inaano to. Inaantay niya itong mag-mature. So, ito yung
Mm-hmm.
mga ginagawa niya to make sure na maging stable talaga yung USDD ng Tron.
Right. So at least we know that they have several strategies for them to keep more stable and less risky as perceived by the market. And for me, most of people here in the Philippines, just to relate it, I'm sure they have appreciated how we were able to explain what's the differences among these stable coins in a short while. What with several exchanges out there in the market, like Binance, being the most preferred. Oh, I also have an account with Binance, and some digital payment applications that are readily available, like what you mentioned, Maya, Gcash. Now having support of buying up cryptocurrency. Or wala tayo nito, no? Kanya-kanya lang tayong naghahanap. And users now have an alternative means to protect their digital assets and accounts. So I'd like to thank you, Ned, for being on the show with us today, and so much information that you have explained to our um, viewers. And I also learned a lot from you. And I hope that next time you'll be able to explain some other features that these stable coins and other cryptocurrencies that there are in the market. So that's it for our show today, guys. And I thank you all for giving us your time and being with us today. We'll see you guys
Yeah.
again soon.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Thanks, Ned.